is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy Sean Spencer, one half of that dynamic duo that is Let's Talk Football. And it's Saturday morning, ladies and gentlemen. Football is here, and you see who I'm with. You see who I'm with. My homegirl, Tina. My favorite time of the year is winter. What up, Tina? How you doing?
Really, is it?
Yeah, it is better than those heat. It's better than those daggone heat. Come on.
Yeah, that's true. Yes, yes, yes. I'm so happy football's back.
Yes.
Count the losers, but
Yes.
it's back.
Need it. Oh my God, I need it. It's been a long all summer,
Yes. All
all
right.
season. I mean.
We've been following. There just hasn't really been anything that was worth talking about up until
No.
like the last couple of weeks. So
Yes.
that was the reason
And,
for the little hiatus there, people.
and we didn't want to talk about Aaron Rodgers for the past 3 months. The fact that he's a
Remember,
daggone
his
Steelers.
name is Roger Mort. You
Right.
shall not call him by his name.
Right. And actually, I think I'm not mistaken. That guy might play today, so we're gonna take a look at that. Look, ladies and gentlemen,
Second
we are
stringer.
back. Yes, well, yeah. Let's talk football. Breaking news: the preseason is here. Obviously, the Hall of Fame game was a week ago. Thursday started the first preseason games. There's a lot to go after. Tina, I know it's just backups. I know none of the main guy. I know some teams are playing some of their starters. Cincinnati play Burrow and Chase and that. But for the most part, it's just a bunch of guys that will not be on the field in a month.
Mhm.
But it's still football, right?
Yeah, it's football. I actually like these games because you actually get to see like how the draft picks are working out. You get to see
Yes.
the guys that were
Yes.
second and third stringers last year and had flashes and showed you something like, was it just a flash or is this something you can really use? And
Right.
so an example for me is Troy Franklin.
Hmm.
Played with Bo Nix at Oregon, had this amazing chemistry, and there was a couple of good passes in there, but it looked like Troy was having a little bit of a problem
Hmm.
learning Sean Payton's system. And throughout the preseason, it's like Bo, it's looking like that extra year. Like they knew the plays, but they didn't understand the system.
Yep.
Now it looks like they get the system, so the plays hopefully will be better. Crossing both of
Yeah.
my fingers, knocking on wood, whatever it takes. I'll like burn sage if I need to. But like Troy in the preseason is looking like that connection with Bo and him is coming back.
Yeah.
And so the reason why I watched preseason. I don't watch preseason to watch first stringers beat up on second and third stringers in the
No. Don't
first
need that.
quarter.
Don't need that.
Like,
Yeah. And
that's
I'm
not
not.
the point.
No. It's to
Sit
see
them
the
until the
backups.
third, because then they can't get hurt.
And don't play any of. Look, don't give him that much time, right? Especially with JD5. Last year he played a series. We'll see what he plays in the next coming week when we play the Bengals. But to your point, Tina, and that's it. I'm looking at those guys that were rookies last year. For us, it was Mikey Sammer still. I want to see how he's doing. He didn't play the first game, but what we've seen is in camp, he's really growing. He's really helping the young guys and really meshing with some of the veterans and things like that. I also want to see the other rookies, the rookies that we got: Trey Amos, Josh Connerly. You know what I mean? Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, a running back.
Jahdae
That
Barron.
yeah, you want to see what these guys bring to the table and if that pick was worth it. But again, Tina, it's preseason and they're
You just
playing
bring
the
him up.
second and third team like that. They're not playing the big name guys. So how much can we really take from this? I mean, is it just good tape or
I think it's good tape, and it's mostly for the coaches to be able to make intelligent decisions as to who's going to stay on the roster.
yeah,
And that's
yeah,
why sometimes when you get to the end of this, some people are like, wait a minute, that guy didn't catch anything or something like that.
hmm
But it could be there was just something on the tape that the coach or intangibles we don't see, and the coach just says, I can coach that guy. I can't coach that guy. That guy won't listen to
Yes.
me. This guy will.
Right.
So it's more than just what you show. Because the draft guys are gonna stay. You don't give them the contracts you give them before they show up for training camp and then cut them. That's just not what you do. So they're going
No,
to always make it. It's the other 40 that are fighting for their
that won't.
lives.
That won't. So shout out to Janae watching in the comments saying, "Let's go, Cowboys!" What? Football season is
You
back.
knew one of them
Pickens,
was going to sneak their way in.
you know it's coming. Pickens and CD about to take over. Hey, Sean, your second string sucks. Listen. That's why it's second and third string, Janae. 30 of our players sat yesterday. Don't talk to me about that daggone game. We'll get into that in a minute. Daggone it. The rivalries are still strong. Dagatini,
Oh,
you see that?
no matter what.
Right.
No
I try to act like it didn't affect me, but that affected me. I'm glad the season's back. Look, we're going to talk about the preseason games, but before that, we want to get into a couple of rule changes that we saw come into effect. Obviously, last year, we know the kickoff thing changed, and after a year, it's kind of becoming a little. I'm kind of getting used to it. It's coming a little more normal. When you have Travion Henderson returning opening kickoff 100 yards against us, I guess it is a little normal. I don't know. I don't like it, but there are a couple more rule changes. Tina, the first one is all measurements this year will be done from the booth, and that means they have the tracker up in the booth or up in New York, and they'll be able to kind of bring it out. The line crew will still be out there for certain measurements and things of that nature, or just to kind of keep the sticks kind of visually on the field, but everything will be done from upstairs. And the second one is New York will be taking over challenge calls. So the coach can still make a challenge, but if there's a play that maybe looks questionable upstairs, New York will call down and say, hey, maybe you guys should take a look at this. Maybe you should hold play, or vice versa. They already started doing that a year ago with the players. When they had a guy that might have got his bell rung and he got up a little wobbly, they'd call down and say, hey, you need to take that guy out, take a look at him. And you can see it. It's definitely been prevalent this off season or this preseason, just early on, and it's cool.
Yeah.
Tina, how do you think these rule changes? How do you think they'll help hurt the game? Make it longer? Make it shorter? What do you think?
I don't like it, as I told you off screen, which is why he threw this at me.
Mm-hmm.
I can see first down calls because those are the ones that are usually kind of the iffy ones.
Right.
And like I said, if it's like a 5-yard pass over the line for a first down, that's going to be an easy call. It's going to be instantaneous. It's going to be, just go. But if it comes down like, is his knee down? Did the ball go down? Is it a half yard? Is it here? I just see this delaying the game. Initially, it is going to delay the game as everybody gets used to this. Then what's the point of having the guys with the sticks on the field, other than the guys having somebody to visually go for, so they know where first down is?
I look. I don't know. It's for just for show. Maybe they're gonna gradually move away from it. But like I told you off screen, I mean, it kind of feels like everything is going automated. I know in baseball they're trying to, have a computer judge the strike zone and things like that. You're losing your human touch to a lot of this stuff. But as we talked about,
your reps correctly and pull them off if they do bad calls. That's how you fix the system.
Exactly. That's all. These refs and umps
they make
all get called.
That guy gets pulled from the roster and doesn't go back on until he gets training. But here's the thing: they don't want to do that because that makes them employees and not independent contractors, and so they don't have to pay other things like benefits and things like that.
It all comes back to money. It all comes back to
All
money.
comes back to money.
And
I've
and, and
said this for years about the refs. Like, I understand in the NBA, like having them as employees and doing the games and things like that, how that led to the culture where they did have
yeah,
the refs betting on games and stuff. So I get why they don't want to go full employee, but you got to train these guys. If you get
you do.
somebody who
You do.
gets a call wrong, so wrong that it affects that game, two things: warning, fire.
Right.
That's it.
Right. Absolutely.
And then they'll
Absolutely.
start to learn the rules correctly.
Yeah.
Now, I
Well,
can
yeah.
get it, like, if it's a 15-part rule, you can't get all the rules right. Okay, then let New York jump in. But let them jump in, like, if it's a my thing is if this is the way it's going to be, then what's the point of challenging? Just review everything.
Oh, look. Human eye is susceptible to error. I understand, especially when the NFL is partnered with MGM and all those betting sites and all that stuff.
Just
Money is in play. We know money runs things. I don't. I look. I like the first down one. The calling down for every other play. That's going to be interesting. We'll see. A lot of the stuff is being kind of implemented now in preseason, so see how it plays out. But it hasn't affected the game too much for me.
they get
But
wrong.
oh yeah, we'll see. I mean, obviously we're going to be they're going to be we're going to be focusing on that, and we'll see how it plays out. But look, let's go into the preseason games. There's
Like,
games
you're not gonna let me
Thursday.
sit there and say, like, and I'm the one on this side of the situation when I'm usually the one bitching about the refs in the
Right.
Chiefs games because they give them everything they want.
I
And I
look. I
still
feel
don't
your
like
pain.
this.
Right. I feel your pain. Dealing with the Dallas Cowboys and all the calls they get in Jerry's world. I feel your
But I
pain
give the money makers every chance to get to
all
the
the time.
Super Bowl
You know
because
it.
it's about money and it's about viewership.
That's what it is. That's the quicker we figure that part out, the better off we'll be. Look,
We
let's go
all
into
are.
the preseason. We're still playing preseason games, by the way, even though a lot of people are like, oh, we're done with preseason. But I think we need to have this for one for the fans because we need football before the season. But also you got a bunch of guys that are rookies or veterans that don't have a slot on the starting lineup.
Mhm.
They need an opportunity to get out here and see this type of stuff. So you'll see a lot of guys that have wandered around the league, kind of getting starts at this time, and it's good to kind of see. And it's also like, oh wow, I didn't realize he was over there. So look, let's get into it right away. The Ravens ended up beating the Colts 24-16. Anthony Richardson started this game for the Colts and left fairly early after getting sacked by David Ajabu. And I don't know if you've seen the pictures, but his pinky was facing another direction. He basically got it dislocated, so he was out. And then Tina, that brought in Daniel Jones, who looked pretty good.
Yeah, he did against second and third stringers.
Yeah, yeah. You know, he did what he had to do. I mean, they couldn't win the game. Riley Leonard, Notre Dame rookie, came in a little bit later for the Colts. But to be honest with you, the Ravens ran away with this. Keaton Mitchell came back after that injury, off that ACL from I think a year and a half ago, and got some good action in there. But the Ravens, who a lot of people are looking at as one of those 3 or 4 teams that could go the distance this year.
Mhm.
Most of their starters were out, but
I'm looking at
mo-
something. I thought somebody got injured. Yeah,
yes, their corner.
Bilal, Bilal Kone. Cone or
Yep,
Kone? He
I
had a
think
knee
corner.
injury. Their cornerback, their rookie cornerback,
Yep.
is out. So, eh, I- um, Nathan could probably have a better answer for that question.
He probably knows what's going on. Anthony, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, Dinklage.
Yeah, buddy. So Ravens got that W. Moving on to the former, or the reigning Super Bowl champions, the Eagles beat the Bengals 34-27. And Tina, I think
Are we
the
surprised?
yeah, well, right. I mean, we know, but again, this is the thing: the Eagles didn't play their starters. The
But that
Bengals
team
did.
is stacked
They
to the
are. They are.
gills.
They are. They are
Like,
pretty stacked. I
their
will
second
agree.
and third stringers could be first and second stringers on other teams.
They are
So
pretty
that's the
stacked.
reason why I
Yes.
made the flippant response. Like, of course they did.
Yeah. They
So
looked good. Tanner McKee, I believe, was what 20 of 25 and 252 yards and two TDs in this game. But like I alluded to, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, all these guys that got paid, they're playing in the first preseason game. I mean, you still
again,
lost.
second stringers.
Yeah, all right,
Yeah.
and you still lost. You know what I mean? And they
Well,
didn't
you know
play. They didn't
what?
play that much. They didn't play that
Yeah,
much.
they play first quarter or they'll play like a series and they're out because there's
Hmm.
no way. Let's say
Yeah,
probably the three of them right there is worth 75 to $100 million.
yeah, not
You're
more.
not going to take a chance at some second string defensive lineman hitting a hole and taking them out for the season.
Right,
So,
making a name for himself and all that stuff. So
yep,
yeah, like to your
get
point,
himself on the team. Yep. So,
Burrow went 9 of 10, 123 yards, two TDs. Chase had four receptions, 77 yards, and a touchdown. But yeah, they were out fairly early, and then you had the backups in. The big thing in this, I mean, we're going to talk about little show me the money, talking about contracts later. One of the guys that was holding out most of camp for the Bengals, Shamar Stewart, ended up he was in this game. He got, I believe, just a tackle as a tackle for loss. He got a little bit of action, and speaking of some of these rookies, it's kind of cool to see them on the field, albeit maybe not for that long of a time. But I always contend that when you have a guy that sits out for whatever reason, contract or whatever, and one of the reasons I have an issue with this whole Terry McLaurin situation, is they don't get that practice time. They don't get their legs under them, so that when they do get in the game, either they underperform or, God forbid, they get hurt. So I hate that. I hate
yeah,
that.
that is the point of holding out. Is
Yeah.
yeah, they're practicing and they're in shape, but they're not in football shape.
Right,
And
right.
that's when injuries happen.
Yeah.
So, yep. Okay. All
What's
right.
going on, Nathan Snell? I see you over here in the comments. I said, "Oh snap! Is that the Holy Mislate?" Yes, sir. Nathan Snell in the building, and tune in to him. He will be live tonight at 9 p.m. Big Nate Sports Talk. His IT team took care of business, so he's got some cool stuff coming up. You definitely want to check that out. From the Bengals to a team that you're familiar with. In fact, a team that both these teams are familiar with each other because they had a blockbuster trade in the offseason. The Raiders played the Seahawks to a 23-23 tie. That
Mm-hmm.
how excited. Your boy, we know you've been looking at this team. Gino didn't play that much for the Raiders. Got a little bit of action in there, but nothing major. What we really wanted to see was that running back, Ashton Genty. I've been telling Tina them getting a running game with their two tight ends, and maybe now they got the quarterback and the coach. Maybe they'll work it out. I was disappointed. I saw nothing. Now, mind you, only got a couple carries from Genty, and ended up being a negative yard. But I thought I was going to see a little bit more. Aiden O'Connell came in there and kind of it was iffy for me. Yeah, they left a lot to be desired. Again, this is the second stringers, Tina. So the first stringers, I'm still holding out hope that they'll be studs. But they didn't really
Well,
look that great.
they're going to need some of those second stringers come regular season,
Yeah.
or Ashton and Powers are going to be hurting
Mhm.
every game because
Mhm.
all you got to do is block one. You're going to the other if they can't get something out, which Ishmael looked good.
Hmm.
Again, it's against second stringers, so let's see how he does the rest of the season and starting coming in. He's a tight end, so he's going to
Right.
be playing behind Powers. So, or I'm sorry, Bowers. So all
Bowers.
the Georgia
Brock.
fans won't kill me,
Brock.
i.e., Dinklage. Um,
Bowers.
Bowers. I just call him that tall boy that I don't like. Um, I thought there was an injury that I was looking up.
For the Raiders game?
Raiders,
Yeah,
yeah.
check that.
Let's see. Right
Yeah, while
now,
you're, you
yeah.
see it?
And can we talk about the Chargers injuries?
How many do they got? Oh, already?
On the
I,
offensive line.
I know Slater is hurt. I know he's out for the year, isn't
No
he?
backup for him. They don't have a backup for Slater.
Oh, wow.
And
And they just
another
paid Slater
offensive
too.
lineman got hurt.
Wow.
Have fun with that,
Wow.
Chargers.
Wow. The division is falling apart before the season even started. Unbelievable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there were some injuries, but it wasn't in the offensive
And
side of the ball. So, I
okay.
mean, they just they didn't really outside Genty, they didn't really beef up their offense. They kind
Mm,
of kept the same people they had before. So, if the Raiders are going to sputter, it's going to be because of their offense.
mm,
Unless for some reason Genty gets, you know what? I'm going to compare this to something that I heard about our guy, RJ,
mm,
that a lot of people were saying, like, in training camp, he's not really been flashy or anything. He hasn't shown like any wonderful feats and all of that. And what one of the guys say that I watch on Locked On Broncos is like, it doesn't matter what he does in the preseason. He's going
right.
to be part of the team because he's the
Right.
draft pick. They're
Right.
just not pushing it right now. So, because they don't want Genty to get hurt, like we don't want RJ to get hurt. And
Right.
also, I see Pete Carroll being very much like Sean Payton in that he's not showing the entire NFL his playbook right now.
No, no. And that's what a lot of
Preseason,
these guys are doing. It's a lot of
preseason, you're
vanilla.
really doing your C plays. You're doing the
Right.
basic plays
Right.
to see who can handle the basics. So I
Exactly.
I I I can see that maybe working out differently, but I'm always gonna. I wish the Seabirds had crapped on the Raiders like birds do, but it didn't happen that way.
It
They
did
just laid a
not
big
happen.
egg.
Yes. It just tied up. It might as well have been 0-0. Look, it's a couple of the rookie performances. Jalen Milroe, the old Alabama quarterback for Seattle, was 6 of 10, 61 yards, and a touchdown and an interception with 38 yards rushing. Torrey Horton, wide receiver from Colorado State, 3 receptions, 31 yards, and a touchdown. Nice to see some of these rookies kind of getting in the action and doing a little bit of stuff. Going on to yesterday's games, the Lions and the Falcons played. The Lions, uh, the final in this at the time was 17-10, and the reason why I say at the time because the game was called midway through when Maurice Norris, a defensive back, was going in to make a tackle. He lowered his head, went after a guy, kind of collided, and then kind of fell out on the field. Started to seize up. They ended up bringing in the ambulance on there. They had to take him off the field and take him to the hospital. The reports that we heard last night were Dan Campbell saying that his eyes were open. He was responsive. There's movement. That's always good to hear, but it always puts all of this in perspective. And you kind of look at it, and this is a preseason game. Obviously, we know about Damar Hamlin and Tua Tagovailoa. Those happen in regular season games. This is the first preseason game to have that happen. Really, really, really stinks. Definitely prayers to him and his family. Hopefully, he gets better soon. But you never want to see this. But I want to talk about this, Tina. The NFL was very quick to call the game. They
Right.
called it, and they went away from it. I love that move from the NFL. Mind you, this is not this is not a regular season game or, God forbid, a playoff game. Kind of think the Buffalo was a late season, regular season game, and it actually had implications for the playoffs.
Right.
So this one, there wasn't that much at stake, but still to make that move and to kind of emphasized the game is secondary.
Right.
Life and health of our players, that's mandatory right now. So I love that they did stop this game like that. So, but I mean,
100%.
it's
I agree.
unavoidable.
You have to. If you have a major injury like that, you got to call the game. It's over.
Right,
I don't care
right,
because no, it's too much of a distraction. Now,
absolutely.
will they make the same call in the preseason in the regular season if it's week 18 and the winner of the team is going to go to the playoffs and the other one won't? That's a different story.
Exactly,
And we'll
exactly,
see what they decide when there's money on the line and playoffs available. So,
exactly.
and on the line of Atlanta, there's rumors that Cousins might be traded.
Really.
Falcons QB Kirk Cousins linked to potential new home via trade.
Hmm. Where do
So
they say
his
where?
house is there's a house
Hmm.
there's a house situation going on. So
Now,
um
now hold up. This isn't like when we reported that Kirk Cousins was in a Chipotle in Cleveland before this.
it's exactly that situation.
Ladies and gentlemen, we were grasping for straws this offseason. He was at a Chipotle. He was at a Chipotle. He's going
But
to.
after watching quarterback, I'm surprised he's looking for a new home.
The writing was on the wall when they brought in Michael Penix Jr. a year ago to be his replacement. They
But
come in with the eighth pick.
and I said this that he was not playing normally.
Mm,
Now, it like he kind of
Achilles.
said it in the show, like he knew if he didn't come back on time, he 100% was going to lose his job.
Mm,
So he said it. So he did a lot of things to make sure that he could. It wasn't like the Achilles tendon wasn't the issue. It was the rest of his body
yeah,
dealing with the Achilles not being 100%.
right.
So like his motions are in off, and he was, but at the one point when they said like midpoint, I think it was the game before they played Denver. That's
Hmm.
when he hurt his shoulder, and that's when
Uh,
you're done because he just couldn't do it. But yeah, I watched. I didn't. I'm not gonna lie. The other two quarterbacks were funny, and I did get a kick out of Goff and his wife a lot because they were hilarious. But I was watching it for Kirk to see
yeah,
like were they gonna actually dig into what was going on and was he playing hurt?
yeah.
And he essentially was.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Look,
there's a lot of rumors. People are in the actual article. They're talking like L.A. Rams is one of the places. Minnesota might be one of the places because I think
hmm
they still have a house in Minnesota. So
I've heard people sit there in Washington say, "Why don't you come home and you could be the
yeah,
back of the JD5?" I mean, look, the man has parlayed, his time in Washington for two big contracts. He's making his money. He's had a solid career for most people's standards. Don't know if I'd sit there and say anything like Hall of Fame, but I definitely a quality quarterback.
yeah,
Um, these injuries. I mean, we talk about a lot of the head injuries and the things that are like, about the respiratory cardiovascular and that type of thing. But
yeah,
these leg injuries are the same thing. And when Alex Smith had his horrific injury and then he came back and tried to play for us in 2020, I said, "What are you doing? You're
yeah.
not going to be able to walk for the rest of your life. Don't worry about all this other stuff." So I understand these players trying to get back quickly, but what are you risking long term? Trying to do that.
Yeah, I think it more for me, what it came down to it is that it was healthy and it was good. It's just that it doesn't perform the same way it does, which is what
Yeah.
always happens to a tendon or a ligament if you injure it and you have to have surgery because you're technically changing the status of that.
Right.
And I've said this to you, I've said it to other people on the show. I've had Achilles tendon surgeries. I
Yeah.
know what that man went through.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
he was doing some deep, quick movement PT kind of stuff. Like they had one show where they're showing like him putting his foot into the water and all of that. It's not something you bounce
Rough.
back quickly, and it doesn't have the elasticity that it used to have. So now his thighs and his shoulders and his core and his shoulders are taking up more of the responsibility to be able to make the movements that he
Right.
was more used to be able to do down on his lower half. That
Right.
changes how you throw your ball. That's why I said when he had the shoulder injury and he felt his shoulder go, I was like,
Mm.
that's when you saw him. And if you haven't watched the show, guys, it is actually really, you get to see this. He says, that's when I knew I was done. And that's
Yeah.
when I what I also liked about it is he had a very good relationship with Raja Moore,
Mm-hmm.
the head coach.
Mm-hmm.
He called him up and said, "Hey, it was a bad game. If you have to change things, you have to change things."
Yep.
And that's what they did. So, and yes, I agree. When you brought Penix in, you see the writing on the wall.
Yeah.
Nobody probably thought it would be that year.
Mm. Hmm. Yeah, he fell off fairly quickly, but all the best to him. Hopefully
Yeah.
he can still, play around the league. But same time, I mean, we'll see.
Yeah.
What is this? Titans win the Super Bowl. Titans will win the Super Bowl 60-70. Another Titan up. Hey, Scribe Bread, appreciate you watching. We'll see if that happens. I'm not gonna hold my breath. I got a couple people in line. I think will win it 2060, but we will definitely see. Moving on to another upstart team that had a quarterback situation, and then two of the quarterbacks got hurt. One was too old, is not going to start until the regular season. So the Browns ended up starting Shador Sanders, and he didn't disappoint. I know they
No.
played a second string. I know it was the Panthers, but still, your first performance going in there live action. He was 14 of 23, 138 yards, 2 TDs, and for all of the talk and everything that we've heard before that, I think this for him was just give me a chance to get on the field and play the game. And we saw he's got ability, he's got talent, he looked good. I was happy with what I saw from him.
Oops.
Huh?
Oh, you paused there for a second. Sorry.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was saying I was happy for what I saw from him
Yeah.
um,
I mean,
in that
he
game.
looked good. And still second string, and it is the Panthers.
It is. But
I'm
that's
not
what
going
I
to
want
deny
to
the kid's
see.
talent, but he's got to do something with it.
Oh
So
yeah, oh
let's see. And he's in a decent position with the Browns, with their other two quarterbacks, that he can do something with it.
yeah. I
Take
mean,
that
right
chip
now,
off your shoulder and throw it down the field and show
yeah,
him what you can do.
right
So,
now, I can see him settling into that number two spot behind Joe Flacco and potentially getting in there at some point in the season. Look, he
Flacco's
threw it
going to get
nice.
hit. He's going to get
Oh
hurt.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Flacco's not going to be able to play a full 17 games. And look, again, it was just early, just preseason, but Shador took what the defense gave him. He was quick with a lot of passes. If he had pressure, he was able to get the ball out to his running backs. He did all you can ask.
Mhm.
He checked the boxes that you needed to do. So I was impressed. I liked it. And you saw Myles Garrett dap him up before the game. So you see what the veterans are kind of, they like him and they're kind of in with him. Now, we don't know how much of that is his dad, Dion, and all that, but still, it is a good look that the team's with him. So I'm excited to see what he's doing. Browns ended up winning 30-10. And one more game happened last night. I don't know if you can call it a game, though, Tina. It was more like a massacre because one team showed up. One team showed up, and on the first play of the game, they returned the opening kickoff 100 yards for a touchdown, and the rest of the game was a flipping wash. A flipping wash. Don't give me that crap that it's preseason because when you let a team put 48 flipping points on you, it's a problem. You hear me, Washington? No. All y'all out here talking about, oh, it's just preseason. Oh, you still play football, right? Do you still play football? And you get put up 48 points. 48 flipping points. You know what, T? I got nothing to say about that team. We lost 48 to 18 to the daggone Patriots. And you would have thought Tom Brady was on the daggone field the way we was getting our butts kicked.
Yeah.
I'm done.
It sucks losing games, no matter if it's preseason or regular season.
Terrible. I waited all off season for that performance. For real.
Sorry, I can't but laugh. Because
terrible.
That's why you get text messages from Janae saying, "Let's go Cowboys."
Right.
She
Terrible.
knew. Thank
Dear
you for
God.
the setup, by the way, Janae. That was awesome.
Right.
I haven't heard him rant like that in a while.
Absolutely terrible. Come on now. The last game we got the last game, right? The last game from this team that I saw was getting our butts kicked in the NFC Championship, albeit to the Super Bowl champ Eagles, 55 to 10 or whatever. And then this is the next game. You had all off season to get your butts kicked, 48 to 18. Really? You know what? I can't even. Look, yes, I know it's just preseason, but F that. That's just ridiculous. That performance was terrible.
I knew that was going to come out.
Terrible.
How
so
could I
terrible.
not that game?
Good God. Can't even, I have nothing to say. Honestly.
I got to wait. My game's tonight, and we're playing the 49ers. So,
right.
Supposedly, we're doing, our defense has been killing the Niners.
Okay.
CMC he's been stopped, and they've sacked Purdy a couple times. So
your boy McCaffrey? Oh. Speaking of which, McCaffrey, he played last night.
Yeah.
1 catch for -1 yards for us. So maybe he needs to go to San Francisco because he ain't working.
That's the point. You keep the draftees the first year because you have to pay them, and then the next year you can let them go. I said I hope it works out. I didn't say it was Christian.
You can have him.
Christian.
You can have that guy, Luke. You can have him.
Well, I was going to say he could go play for Kubiak, but Clint's already at the 49ers, so he's already there.
I mean, might as well go with his brother. Look, so you alluded to it. You guys play San Francisco. Some of the other games that are coming on today, Giants are playing at Buffalo. Texans are playing at Minnesota. Dallas is playing the Rams. The Steelers and Roger Mort are playing Travis Hunter and the Jags. Titans are playing the Bucks. I know a lot of our Bucks fans are in the comments. They're loving that. Jets are playing Roger Moore's former team, the Packers. The Chiefs are playing the Cardinals, and the Broncos are playing the 49ers. Outside of your game, Tina, what is there any other games you're looking forward to on this list?
There's never a game I'm looking forward to on the first season. In the first week of preseason, mine. Game for the Chargers, Raiders, and Chiefs lose.
In division, right? In division, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Chiefs getting the Cardinals. I mean, and mind you, most of the starters probably will not be playing in this game. But still, the Chiefs probably should beat the Cardinals. That's pretty fair. I want to see who plays for Pittsburgh if they let Roger Moore in there, and then obviously Travis Hunter, #1 overall pick, Heisman Trophy winner. I want to see if he plays both ways.
So we'll see how that goes.
That's what I want to see, and how many plays he actually sits out from doing that. But for the most part, I'm right there with you. Part of it, I'm still fuming from my game, but
you want a time machine to take you back.
Right. Like, what in the world? I can't. Oh God, I can't even.
Look at it this way: they have a lot to learn from the loss. So maybe next week, the second and third stringers. Well, your coaches are going to chew their asses out about that. So. Yeah. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to be put on notice. Like, you play like that again, you won't make the 50.
Well, and that's the thing.
Roster. So
this is why I'm not a coach, because we would already reset the roster already. Oh, you missed that? Cut. You what? What was that now? Cut. No, I didn't like the cut. You're all out of here. Like Dad said, go pick up the guys from 7-Eleven. They'll play. They'll dominate. Okay, 'cause they're hungry. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Sunday, the Dolphins play the Bears, and the Saints play the Chargers, who are having offensive line issues. And I don't know if you've seen Tina, but their quarterback, Mr. Herbert, is he's got enough time to do commercials. I didn't think the Chargers had been that good to where he could take time off to do commercials. So
Got to make his bag somehow, I guess.
yeah, because it ain't on the field. It ain't happening
No.
on.
No.
We
Even I'm disappointed in that guy. Like, and he plays for a rival, but he just.
Yeah.
So one of the memes was kind of funny, and they're talking about the Chargers and everything, like, and they're like, so he was talking about the AFC West, and like, of course, Chiefs are gonna win because they won, and like the Raiders, blah 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 blah, and then the Chargers get on, and they're like, oh, we're just gonna do like what he did when he came to 49ers. He's like, he's gonna make the Super Bowl the second year, and the guy responds back with, so are you gonna win this time?
Bang bang.
And the Denver characters sitting in the corner, kind of being quiet. And they're like, what about you? We're just hoping if we just stay here in this corner, people won't think too much about us.
Right. Leave us alone.
Do what we want to do. Because we actually have a sneaky good team, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah.
That's essentially what Denver's doing. They're like, talk amongst those three right there. Just focus on that.
Worry about those guys. Worry about those teams. Don't worry about us. We'll be all right. We're going to be all right. That's how I feel about Washington this year. Well, after that game, I don't think anybody's worried about us. But look, we got to move on from that. Shout out to all of you guys in the comments. Janae saying LOL. Hearing me bash my team. I know you love that, Janae. And Anthony in the comments and Nathan Snell, appreciate you guys joining us. Hey, we're going to take a quick breather before we talk about a couple guys that want to be shown the money. They want the paper. Janae, you're going to want to come back to see us on the other side because your boy is included. This is my guy, Anton Benson. We'll be right back. Yeah, buddy, that was my guy, Anton Benton of Awesome Artisans, awesome_artisans on Facebook and Instagram. Definitely check him out. He posts his work daily, and he is out there grinding. He's out there getting it done. He travels up and down the East Coast. He's living in the Virginia Beach area, but he also goes towards the Midwest. Definitely check him out. Welcome back to Let's Talk Football Breaking News. You see my partner over there. No! The Bronco herself, Tina Winter. You know who it is. The command. You know what? I'm not even a Commander today. I am a Washington team fan because they didn't take command of anything yesterday. So yeah, it's your boy Sean Spencer. We're here at Let's Talk Football Breaking News. We've been talking about the preseason games. There's a number of them today and a couple even tomorrow, but it's just still the first week. And I'm telling myself this. Pump your brakes, get off of the ledge. You're going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Right. Yeah, but as we're here, we've kind of alluded to this all night. There was a lot of players that did not play. A lot of it because a lot of your veterans, most times, unless you're the Bengals, most of your veterans will sit out, or at least play like really short amounts of time. But there was also a lot of guys that didn't play because they are not in right standings with the team, or the contract is not worked out, or they're holding out or holding in. And a couple players are a couple notable guys are involved here. Terry McLaurin, obviously in Washington, Trey Hendrickson for the Cincinnati Bengals, and Micah Parsons for the Dallas Cowboys. Tina, they want their money. They deserve it. Obviously, Terry for us has been our only weapon outside of our punter for the last 6-7 years until we got rid of our owner and got a lot of new pieces around him. Trey Hendrickson, back-to-back years, 17 and a half sacks, has dominated. And Micah Parsons, hey, Janae calls him 11 from heaven. I mean, this guy is a monster. He's balled out. He deserves everything is coming, but he's on his rookie contract. Talk to me about this. First of all, do you think these guys will get paid? And, I mean, what does this mean for the season? Like, for these guys, for the teams, everything?
Okay, so I don't know all the ins and outs of their contracts. Are all of them still on the last year of their contract?
So Micah, I believe, has another year because he's still on his rookie contract. So I think this is
Okay, so
4.
he has another year. So he's trying to get a new contract.
Right.
Trying to get a new contract. McLaren and Hendrickson are on the last year of their contracts.
Right. I think McLaren's yes, they're on the last year because next year we'd be or. Okay. I'd have to look that one up on McLaren because I think he might be 2 years out. It might be a year. You're right. I think you're right.
Okay. The reason why I asked that question is because that's big. Because if you're going to be, we can trade you next year if you don't take. Here's the thing. Let's just talk about defensive ends because those are 2 of them right there. That's and I think that is actually a tale of 2 cities in that situation. Is so right now the Cowboys have $31.6 million left of cap space.
Right.
The Bengals only have $28.9 million. So when you're talking about defensive ends and you're talking about people that you would consider to be in the top 10 of defensive ends, you are exceeding $30 million basement.
Yep.
Per year on average. Now, yes, a lot of these contracts get backloaded, but you got to have the guaranteed money up front, and guaranteed money will count towards that year. So if base for them is 30 million, Bengals can't even make that number. So that means that Trey has to agree to take a hometown discount to play. And Micah probably, but the list that I got off of the list I got for the top 10 ends in the NFL are Garrett, Hunter, and these are in line going down 1 through 10 in terms of what they got paid. So you have Garrett, Hunter, Crosby, Bosa, Burns, Allen, Sweat, Siller, and Karlaftis.
Right.
Trey Hendrickson is number 12. And he was at 21 million. He's gonna want more. If you put Micah, I would put at the top of that list just on pure talent. So over $31.6 million.
Yeah.
So Jerry's gonna do exactly what Jerry always does.
Yeah.
He's gonna have to overpay for him, and he's gonna have to figure out some way to pay him. I'm not sure about the Bengals. I really don't know.
Well, and we know
Trey will be hard for that team.
Huge.
He is the heart of that defensive line.
Yeah.
And yeah. Is the cap space fungible? Yes. Cap space is fungible.
Yes.
And that's why I said you can make it work.
Yeah.
But it is hard numbers too. Like they cannot spend more than $31.6 million now because they're not in the new year yet.
Right.
So it's what they have now. So can they? That's the thing. That's going to be the team is going to be like, look, we want to pay you, but you got to give us something. You got to take a hometown discount.
There's got to be.
It's going to have to be all backloaded.
Right. Right. And that's the issue for some of these guys. The backloaded or in the guaranteed, what's coming in there.
Guaranteed. Yes.
Yeah. Terry wants, kind of the extension, but part of the issue for Terry is and I think similar to Hendrickson and Parsons is exactly what you talked about. You look at that list of players and kind of what they're all making. When these guys look at these lists, they look at where they feel their level is, and a lot of them are at the higher part of that list, higher tier. And you look at Terry, we in between this time that we've been talking to him, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Brandon Ayuk, your boy Sutton. I mean, all of these guys have been getting paid, and the money keeps going up. Now Sutton, I think, is only getting like something like 23, but then you got DK who's getting 30. You got so like he looks at himself on that DK level and wants somewhat the 30, and it really starts to make you beg the question: how good is he? And how much, and I hate to say this, but how much is he worth? Because you think for what he's done for the city and the team of Washington, and how he's been such an integral part of us getting out of the dark days and coming back to this light and whatnot. You wanna give him that whole town, like, I love you, like, I want you to stay here, but you remember it's a business, and some reason they can't get the number that a lot of people keep shooting out is 28 mil, but to your point, I really think he's not budging for under 30, and you ask, is he
They've
worth that? I
gotta
mean, we
make
have
it,
the money.
and if that's what he wants, they gotta figure out how to get him that money.
Yeah,
And how
yeah,
do you get in when your cap is already there? And remember, they already did they did a readjustment of the cap, and I think on average, like the teams got like an additional $40 million this year. So
yeah.
yeah, and this is the hard part. And we should have talked about this the opposite time. I was gonna say, like, I was gonna have like you play the fans and I play the owners,
Yeah,
because that's essentially what this is like the fans love Terry because of what he has done for the team, he's been doing, and also what he's done for the city and
right.
playing through the bad times. So the fans want to see him get his money.
Yeah,
But how do you pay for it is the thing.
it's got to come
And
up somewhere.
and
And they also have a vision of what they want in house. They have moves and things they want to make. Clearly, we picked up Von Miller amid all of this back and forth, and it kind of makes you think. Kind of like Misha Dora, shout out to him. He's watching. He said Terry will get paid, but where? It makes you think. Once if we're so hard pressed on money, and then we spent this money, almost 8 or 6 million, 10 million with incentives to Von Miller, we got money. We we
that's
we can we
order
can
for
make
you to get.
it right. Exactly. So we have the money. We can get it there. So it makes you really think, like, maybe they are saying either meet us where we're at, or we'll
But
work it
this is
out.
also the players with that's why I asked about where they were in their contract, because
Hmm.
they want to know going into this season, am I going to get paid next year, or will I need to start checking into the free agency? And
Right.
I
Right.
think yes, that's true. And what you're saying about different teams, they have the same set, they have the same number.
Right.
Everybody has the same number. The difference is can your teams afford to do backloading of contracts and other things that are not adjusted into the salary
I'm
cap,
gonna remember. Right. Right.
which is why I'm very thankful we are owned by the Waltons.
Yeah.
We got that Walmart money
Hmm.
for
So
other things.
that money's good. I say that money's good.
But the problem you have with backloading contracts is that at the point there comes a point that that deal with the devil
Still
comes
gotta pay
due,
that money. Still gotta
and
pay that money.
dead money against the cap. And yes,
Yep.
and how a team handles the cap, some do it better than others. The
Yeah.
Saints are horrible at it. They're not good. They're always in trouble on their cap. They're always over. They always have dead cap. And other teams like the Chiefs do it very, very well. So, I mean, it just depends on how you handle it and looking at it.
Exactly.
And that's why this Money.
Money. It's all money.
It's always
We all
about
know
money.
that. We know
Yeah.
it's always been about money, and that's what it's always going to be about. So, it's unfortunate.
John Boy.
Yeah, John Boy. Night,
No,
John
John
Boy.
Boy's not in the office anymore. He died a while ago.
It's funny. My mom, when I was younger, used to have VHS tapes of the Waltons and would play them in there. So at nights, we'd always be like, she'd be like, "Good night, John Boy. Good night, John Boy. Good night,
Yeah.
Mary Llewellyn. Good night." That's not something you bring up to your middle school friends. They don't.
No.
They're not cool with that. They're like the Waltons. And Sound of Music. What? Alex
Remember the
Schomburg.
Lawrence Welk show? I was watching Lawrence Welk show at holidays
Yeah.
until like middle school, and they'd be like,
Yep.
"Oh well, what did you?" I was like, "I'm not telling them we watched Lawrence Welk show."
No, no, no. You don't let them know that.
Or Hee-Haw, or even The Sound of Music for the 12th year in a row.
That's well, you're right. Exactly. Exactly. Oh yeah. Yeah. Come up to the lunch table talking about, hey man, have you guys checked out breakfast with Tiffany's before? And it just goes quiet. It's like, okay, nope, not
No,
gonna do it.
never
Not
seen the
gonna do
movie.
it.
Right? You'll watch
Nobody.
that movie when you get older, and you'll understand.
Right. Shout out to Alex Schomburg in the comments. What up, buddy? I know your Buccaneers are playing tonight, man. I know you're excited about that. Are you back in the States, buddy? Our local Navy midshipman. I don't know if he's back in the States or not, but I assume he is for hitting us up. 101, 102. Anthony Handy, appreciate you here in the comments. Look, yeah, at the end of the day, at least in our situation with Terry, I am not confident we'll get this deal done. I and the thing that sucks is I alluded to it earlier. The longer this thing drags on, the less prepared he's going to be game one and into the season. So if he does get his money and then all of a sudden you look at Brandon Ayuk last year, he held out and didn't practice through training camp, ended up getting his money towards the season, and unfortunately gets tears the ACL or has the big injury. Now, one is not necessarily tied to the other as far as that could be a freak accident, but at the same time,
you might have to keep Luke McCaffrey on the roster for a little bit.
Oh yeah, well, it also makes you look at Debo and we got Michael Gallup who had retired. He got him back. We look at some of these guys like, okay, well, maybe they kind of were telling us what they were doing earlier on.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But we know, and again, to your point with Micah, we know how Jerry does. Jerry's gonna sit here. After daggone Dak Prescott, daggone snapped his ankle. He waited to the last possible minute to pay Dak Prescott all that money. So we know you ain't gonna sit here and try to leverage Jerry. He gonna do his thing. But Trey Hendrickson, I think to your point is just
travesty.
They don't have. I mean, it's travesty, but they don't have the money. And you had a situation where you have to play the receivers.
Trey taking the hometown discount.
You think he said he wasn't trying to take that? You think
he showed up for training camp?
It's going to be interesting.
Usually, if it's going to be hardcore negotiations, they don't show up for training camp.
We'll see. Now, but very true. And also, if they don't show up, I think they get fined too. Now it's like 50,000. That's nothing to them.
It's like a penny in a bucket in terms of the type of money we're talking about.
Right.
Because I think what is 50,000 of let's see, running the number. 0.00238% of what Trey makes in a year.
Nothing. So
now, yes, is that per game? I'm sorry. Oh, what, 150,000? Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
Not going to go up much more than that. 0.007.
Exactly. It's next to nothing. So let's we'll see
That's why I
if that
used to always
matters.
laugh. Everybody was like, "Well, Brady always takes the hometown discount and everything. He does whatever he needs to do for the team." I'm like, "Yeah, and how much is he making in terms of advertisements and other things to
Exactly.
make up for
Exactly.
that?" And he was also married
Exactly.
to the number one model at the time, who made three
Exactly.
times more than what he did.
Exactly.
So
Yes. Yeah. He
I
was
don't think
set.
it's a discount.
Right. That's why he can take the hometown discount. So
Yes,
let's
yeah,
relax with all that stuff.
yeah,
Oh my goodness, these people. But look, hey, we are here. This is the first week. We're in the middle of the first week of the preseason. Pump your brakes, people. Don't
yeah.
jump the ledge. It's just the first week of preseason, but it feels so good to be back talking football, talking to all the people I love because I love talking about this game and talking to my people. And Tina Winter, let's talk football. Breaking news: we're back, ladies and gentlemen. So for the lovely Tina Winter, it is your boy Sean Spencer. Any let's talk about Mile High Minute. Is that wait to the season
We're going to
or
do a cover after the last preseason game. We are going to do a
okay,
quick show.
nice,
We're going to take it to a little bit of a different format. We're going not the long format anymore. We're going to make it about 30 minutes.
nice.
And I got some ideas. I got to talk to the guys. I want us all to make our predictions for our season this year. And we're going
Oh
to
yeah,
count it throughout the year and see who wins at the end.
yes.
Not sure what it's going to be more than bragging rights, but I'd
Come
like to
on.
see where we're at. I have an idea of where we might be on some. A couple of them are going to be a little bit more
Look,
bullish. A couple
we're,
of them are going to be more
we're,
fair.
Todd 16-0 playoffs Super Bowl. We can do it. We're gonna do it.
It's not 16-0. But yeah, we're doing that. And those of us on the round table have been doing a movie edition. Um,
Yes.
Handy's been putting out some clips from us discussing some movies. The first one
Mm.
we did The Mummy. This one we did Superman. And it
Okay.
actually was, we talked for almost 2 hours, people.
Nice. Nice. Is that up? Is it up on
It's
YouTube?
not going to go out in 2 hours.
Okay. Okay.
But Handy's going through the clips and stuff. So kind of keep a lookout for that. So if you follow Handy with his Zagnif and all of that, keep an eye out for them. It was interesting. Delilah and I did not agree on which was our favorite Superman series. So it created some interesting conversations.
Okay.
So
Nice. Did you guys reference the new one?
and no hate for either one of us for the ones we liked. It was just we just liked the other one better, or there was
Yeah.
something in it that we enjoyed more. So,
Yeah.
but that was the point of this, is to do that. So
Yeah.
Nick's thrown out.
Absolutely.
He hasn't been able to get on. I enjoy it. It's fun. It gets us together talking, and also kind of like getting the gears greased for when
Yes.
Roundtable comes back. So like we're kind
Exactly.
of sliding in it with all the gears firing is the way I
Yeah.
will. We talked about Marvel. I mean, as Delilah said, is like, okay, we just showed all our geek cards right here.
Yep. Yep. Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. But
So
the
keep an
best
eye
part
out
about
for
it,
those guys. It was a lot of fun. So
yeah.
yep.
The best part about it is what you said, what you alluded to in the middle of that, where you said it was just us kind of getting back together. And that's what this is all about. I love talking football, but at the end of the day, if you know me, you know I just love to talk. So I don't care what we're getting into as long as we're talking and getting down together. And to be able to hang out with you and hang out with everybody and have you guys hang out,
Mhm.
that makes my heart smile. So yes, tune into that. I watched the first episode when you guys went over the Mummy, and then immediately watched the Mummy after it because I was like, "Yo, they got me hyped." I was ready to watch it. So yeah, did you guys talk about the new Superman? Did you? Did you?
None of us had seen it yet, but we did.
Okay.
So we did have that caveat in there that like, but we talked about like we know what's happened in the movie and we know like the characters
Yeah.
and what
Yeah.
James Gunn was doing, which as he said, like that got us into like talking about the Marvel movies,
Yeah.
but also because of like we think, at least in our opinion, DCU was trying to rush movies out to compete with
Gotcha.
the Avengers, so they didn't do the Zack Snyder set of movies probably correctly. And so I think James Gunn is probably a good idea. It's discussed on the show. We think pulling him in for this first Superman movie was a very good idea because he'd seen how it was done at Marvel. We also talked about Batman, because you can't talk about the Zack Snyder movies without talking about
Batman. Oh, absolutely.
He's in the Batman versus Superman. So
I love that.
But anything and everything. We kept saying, we don't mean to go into that, but then we back another.
But then dive into it. That's how good conversation works.
Wendy said that was the premise. He missed talking to us. This was a way for us to get together and talk. And we are always making movie references and song references on the show. So it was an easy segue. As soon as Handy raised the idea, I'm like,
imagine if somebody was trying to get us all together to talk randomly about football every week, just because they really just want to talk to people. Interesting.
I wonder where that idea came from.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Yeah, exactly. So next time I say let's talk for 5 minutes, let's daggone talk. Come on, people. I need it as much as you guys. I love this. Oh my goodness. I think we were talking about rush hour traffic. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's what it is. That's what it is. You start with one thing and you go down to a myriad of other things, and that's what I love. That's what makes it all great. And that's why it's called Let's Talk.
People sitting at a fire at the beach or whatever, and somebody raises a story, and it goes.
Just keeps going. And that's what it's all about.
I probably should handy count every subject change.
Oh yeah. Just keep it. Just follow it. Just follow it around the circle. Oh man.
Like the episode from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia where he's got the strings.
Yep. We went here and then we came back to that with that. I love it. I love it. Like being in my house with my grandma, my mom, my cousins, and they're just all talking about 3 or 4 different things, and I'm just doop 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 doop. I mean, so many different conversations. And keeping up with it, that's the magic.
An increase in ADD and ADHD in people.
Oh yeah, it's there. Oh yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're heading out of here. Let's talk football. Breaking news. We'll be back with you soon. For my lovely co-host Tina Winter, it is your boy Sean Spencer. Go tune in to some preseason football today and tomorrow. Football is definitely back. And hey, we'll be talking to you guys soon for sure. This guy.
He's
that guy. He's that guy. That's Anthony Handy for you, ladies and gentlemen. And
love talking to you. Amazing.
If I'm not mistaken, this Monday, let's talk football. This Monday, how did I just go blank on this? This week in Georgia football, we'll be back. Anthony Handy and Colin P from the DMV, definitely talking about Georgia and the SEC and what they're looking forward to coming up in the season. So definitely tune into them. Always a good show. Definitely good stuff. So we are out of here for the third time. We are out of here this time for sure, and we will see y'all. We'll see y'all again. Peace, people.
Bye.
Washington had no hesitation this offseason. They hired Bob Myers, a special consultant.
They're taking advantage of the fact that players and celebrities are public figures.